Welcome back to Clubhouse Chronicles, the place where the central Illinois music scene gets loud, proud, and unfiltered. I'm Twitt, your host with the most, ready to spin you the stories, the sounds, and the struggles behind the bands that are making waves right here in your backyard. This show is powered by our friends over at Broken Record Music Club, your favorite independent record label, bringing music for whatever you are going through. With that, let's buckle on up because this isn't just a podcast. It's your front row ticket to the heart of your indie music scene. Today, we're talking to a singer-songwriter out of Champaign-Urbana, and let me tell you something. Does she have the voice of an angel? If you put on her music, you will definitely think about your life at a deeper level. I find myself like, I don't know if anyone knows, I feel like might be a deep cut, but the Kermit the Frog puppet meme where he's up against the window and there's rain on the window, that's the type of feeling that this artist's music gives me. And of course, I'm talking about the artist formerly known as Taurus Hate Club, Lys Allen. Welcome to the Clubhouse, Lys. I'm so excited to talk to you today about all the great things you have going on.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here virtually. Yeah.
I try to be accessible so everyone can do this.
Works out great for me.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I have my commute for my day job is horrendous. So anytime I could do something virtually, I would very much prefer it.
I'm with you, absolutely.
So I think we're just going to dive on in here because there's a lot of great stuff going on in the world of Lys Allen.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that we can talk about every single bit of it. So, Lys, are you ready to go or what?
Absolutely. Fire away.
All right, let's do this. So I've heard you as Taurus Hate Club a while ago, and I was blown away immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like really excited, especially with 305. I was like, "What? It's a friggin' banger!" But I want to take us back to when you first started getting into music, and where was the point where you decided that you wanted to pursue it more seriously?
So I've been playing since I guess I was 17. I started going to the Canopy open mics. And yeah, it kind of just evolved from there. I think when I became an adult and I had to go to college and realized that maybe I don't want to be a teacher. That's when I was like, hey, well, I might as well give music a shot. I'm not doing anything better. Might as well. And yeah, it kind of just evolved from there, taking it show by show, I guess.
I feel like a lot of people start when they're really young. To hear that you started at 17 and you're seeing the success that you're having right now that's got to feel pretty good to know that you made this little pivot and you're here.
Yeah, I always feel so old. It's so funny you say that. I feel like a grandma, But yeah, I guess it hasn't been that long. It's been a good ride so far. So
I mean, so good that you're already released one project, working on another. So
yeah.
Speaking of those releases, your first project, Sharks in the Swimming Pool, came out in 2023. The top song in the project I already mentioned was 305, and certified banger, I will say that.
Thank you.
And a lot of people liked it. It did really well on streaming platforms. But what was it like to put out your first real project for everyone to hear? After going to all those open mics, and now you've kind of sat down and wrote out your own material. What was that like?
Really scary. I definitely think it changed me. It put me in a very vulnerable spot. I started playing open mics when I was 17. That being said, the stage presence has been in the works. It definitely took me that much time to kind of find my way and get my footing in performing. But I think it was good in the sense that it kind of just threw me out there. And yeah, it's really cool now that I have a community pretty much because of that project, best friends that I would not have met without that project. And that was my ultimate goal. I just wanted music out there in the first place. So it's kind of cool to have that under my belt and, yeah.
I mean, it definitely had good feedback, like I said, and music is just an awesome thing. In making yourself so vulnerable by talking about such personal things. you allow yourself to be seen by other people and for them to relate to you. And I know, at least for, when I listen, that's one of the main things that I look for, is that, kind of taking off your mask for a second and allowing people to get an inside look at what it's like to be you and that you're human.
Yeah. Very intimidating at first, but it's been good for me personally in my growth, I guess, as a person.
It's got to be a little therapeutic too.
Oh yeah,
to be able to
1,000%.
do
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the only way I process things. So, and to be able to share that with other people is really great too.
Well, your project wasn't the only thing that you've put out recently. You followed it up in 2024 with another single called Toothache.
Yeah.
And it was in the same vein as Sharks in the Swimming Pool was. It's similar sounding, singer-songwriter-esque. As you're going through your process of becoming vulnerable, what is the creative process like for you? Like I said, as I was listening, they're pretty stripped back, but your vocals are really like allowed to shine on each of these songs. Is that intentional as a part of your creative process, or is it something else?
I guess in terms of like song structure or production, and like starting out as, just myself, because that project was released, and then from that I like gained a band. Honestly, that was just all I knew at the time. Like, I had never played with other people in a band setting, like that was my own band. So I kind of just had to rely on like what I could bring and put out there. Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. Like, I just tried to use my mind to the best I could. Yeah.
She's just letting that brain roll.
Yeah. In ways, yeah.
Towards the end of 2024, you announced that you were going to change the name that you were releasing all this music under, which was Taurus Hate Club. And I just want to say we got to pour one out for Taurus Hate Club, because it was such a great name.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But what was the thought process behind that decision? Is it I think you said it was like the end of an era and you're trying to transition, but I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Well, first of all, when I released Sharks in the Swimming Pool, I didn't really think that like I was gonna be playing as much as I did end up. And so, yeah, that was just my Instagram username. That's where that came from, and it had been for years. So I kind of just went with it. Where the name change came in, though, I think Taurus Hate Club was really good for me at the beginning, because I didn't identify as a performer. And I don't know how much I do now, even so, but it's easier for me to kind of fake it till I make it. But that was a good way to throw myself out there without like having the exposure, I guess, because it wasn't my name. I didn't need to represent myself. It was just like a thing, I guess, if that makes sense. But now, having played shows and feeling more comfortable in my own self, I guess, I don't need that title anymore. Like, I'm fine with my name. So yeah, it was definitely helpful at the time, but I don't think I need it anymore. Yeah.
That's good that you're able to feel that comfortable now performing and in your art as well. Like that, like you were saying earlier, it has to be a really scary thing when you're unpacking your own emotions and putting them into song for everyone to hear. And then you just tell them your name too. Like, yep, this is all about me and who I am. So you could stalk me on all my socials.
Yeah. It's like, it's a hard thing, because it's kind of like you are marketing yourself. And that was really hard for me at the beginning, because it's like, please care, please listen to me. But yeah, it was nice to not have it solely fall on me, I guess, in the beginning.
But as of now, she's ready for it.
Now I'm fine. Now things are okay. Yeah.
As of late, I mean, you just were talking about all these big things coming type of stuff, which we'll get into a lot of it in a little bit. But you mentioned that you've been playing so many shows. You've been super active lately, just all over the place, playing where you can, which is awesome. And the Otnes show on March 13th, which is she's just went on tour recently, so that's a pretty big act that you're opening for. As you've been working on all the behind the scenes stuff that we're going to get into later, was this approach intentional, or was it just like there's a demand for your music to be out there?
Kind of. I mean, like, we try to play as much as we can, and especially because we love to do it. So, you know, like, why not? But yeah, we're kind of just like trying to expand, trying to go different places we haven't played before, play with people we haven't played before, and just make friends and, you know, meet new people in the music scene. So it's kind of, yes, like, it's kind of a promotion thing, but also like we just love to play music and we're gonna do it. So,
and you know, when I wrote that question, I didn't even think. I'm just thinking, oh yeah, Lys is just still going around on her own, just singing. You have this whole band now, so
yeah,
obviously, it's important to get out and start playing, especially the new stuff that you've been working on.
Yeah. No, they're my best friends. I do play solo shows here and there, but it's not as fun. I love playing with them. So yeah.
That's always important to like playing with your band. It
Oh
would
yeah.
kind of go off the rails, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit before this, to get into all the big things coming that you have, or big things happening, I should say, it was recently announced that you have signed with Pretzel Records, which congratulations again. Super
Thank
awesome.
you.
Shout out Julie, shout out Doug, friggin' awesome people. But I've personally, because as a owner of a record label, I've always been interested in the artist's perspective of being approached by a label that wants to work with you, that believes in your music and stuff. So I wanted to ask you what it was kind of like to be approached by Julie and or Doug to go through that, and then ultimately going through the whole decision process to say, like, yeah, let's do this.
I guess I haven't like really super processed it yet, because like I think maybe once the album is released, then it'll feel like it hit. But it's really nice. Like, to put it simply, it's very nice. So I came in contact with Julie and Doug by the producer I'm working with, and his name is James. He's at Wave Upon Wave. Also, shout out him. He's very cool, very talented.
James Streichler.
Yes, love that dude. He's awesome. And he was the one that kind of like gave my name to Julie and Doug, and just to see how much they believe in what we're doing, like, I still can't believe it. I don't know. It's kind of weird, because it's like I don't care. Like, I care, but like I don't know. Like, being a self-critical person, I don't know that I would listen to my music. So when other people would listen to it, I am very surprised always. So it's nice. Yeah.
Having people around you that believe in you 100% is definitely a good environment to be in.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's exactly what Julie's doing, and she's been plotting and scheming about all the stuff she's got cooking for you and your release track.
Yeah.
But that's another thing we can get into is your album. You've been really vocal on social media that you've been in recording, you've been working on a new project as a full band, which is going to be a bit of a difference from the stuff that's been released by you before. But tell us a bit about like what we can expect on the project. Like, I'm so excited for it, especially to see like how you've grown over the past 2 years since your Sharks in the Swimming Pool.
Yeah, thank you. I can't believe it's actually like been almost 2 years. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, full band, that's pretty much what's expected. I think it's really cool. I think working with a full band this time around has made it easier to just like be in the process. I am very grateful for the experience I had releasing Sharks in the Swimming Pool, but it was pretty much just me. And so like sharing this experience with other people is so fun. Like, beyond words, it's so fun. It has been a great experience. And it also makes me a lot less critical of the outcome, because these are my best friends and I love what they play and I love what they do. So I could never criticize it in a horrible way. But yeah, we tried to incorporate as much as we could dynamically. There's definitely more production on it than the last release. we're just trying to have fun and trying to experiment. So yeah, hopefully we can make something that someone likes. Yeah.
So if you could describe the experimental sound, is it like, are we going to see you more in like the indie pop, indie rock? Is it going to be more alt? Could you give us like that kind of description?
I would say like indie rock, probably. I'm sure there's like a few, maybe a couple poppier tunes, but I would say probably indie rock. Yeah, it's got like a darker overtone to it, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask you any like giveaways because I don't think you've released the title of it yet.
Yeah, that's okay. I suck at explaining things anyway. So
Can you confirm or deny that there is a title already?
Oh yeah, for sure. I could even tell you if you really want. I mean,
breaking news here on Clubhouse Chronicles.
Yeah,
Lys Allen's project.
It's called Boyish. Yay.
Oh, okay. There we go. Boyish coming to a streaming platform near you soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, okay. I'm gonna stop my like questions here. We have moved at a breathtaking pace through these questions.
I told my friend, I was like, it's probably not going to take that long because I'm just not a very like explaining type of person. So yeah.
Well, it's very opposite end of the spectrum for me. A lot of people will just go and go and go. Like,
no, I would love to like. My brain just shuts off and I'm just like, oh, whatever comes out, comes out. So, yeah.
Boyish coming soon to a platform near you. Would you be willing to tell us a little bit about like what kind of theme Boyish may have? Is there a theme?
Yeah, I would say just like, I don't want to say self-discovery because that's so cheesy, but like, I would say the step before self-discovery. I wrote most of the songs when I was in not a great place. And so like playing them now as kind of a finished result, it kind of like, I guess it's a reflection of like everything that I've been through in the past year and a half or so. And really overall, just like kind of like not labeling yourself with like things that other people describe you as, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not allowing the words of others to kind of dictate how you see yourself. That's
exactly. See, perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to
no
for you.
Yeah.
Well, then that definitely plays into the imagery of, you know, indie pop that's a little darker, indie pop rock that's a little darker. So I'm excited for the whole project to come out, and it's coming out this year. I know. Julie told me that, but she didn't. Yeah. She also told me when it comes out, but I'm not going to say because it hasn't been announced yet, and I'm not going to piss off Julie. But beyond the project that's coming out this year, what else can we expect from you on the horizon?
Well, we're going to be working on merch soon, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, lots of cool things there. A lot of visual things that will be happening. Yeah, maybe a music video. We shall see. Yeah, more shows. Pretty much just doing what we can, you know, really pushing things and staying in the loop.
Hell yeah. So a whole lot of Boyish, a whole lot of visuals, dark visuals.
Yeah.
Like, what's that clip from Parks and Rec? We're going to have a Halloween party. There's going to be blood demons or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're on to our two final questions here, and I ask pretty much all the artists that come on here the same two questions. So we're just gonna get right to it. What is your favorite part of the Central Illinois music scene, and why?
There's so many. I would say just the community aspect. I have made amazing friends, amazing acquaintances that will really go to bat for you and just support you for no reason other than the fact that they're great humans and like love music. And especially something like with music that's so vulnerable, you're never gonna have like a bad reaction from these people. These people meaning the musicians that play. It's just a great community to have Yeah, so many connections, but also like, yeah, friendships. I don't know.
That is the number one answer that I get, is that
Yeah,
the community is the best part of it. There are
absolutely.
amazing people in the scene.
Yeah,
So it's always good to hear the support for the community that is so loving and caring for the artists and the bands and the music, especially.
for sure. I'm just a big group of besties. That's how I feel it.
A big group of besties dancing around in someone's basement. That's
Exactly. Yep. In someone's dark and dingy basement, but it's so fun every time. Yeah.
so. Our final question is always the hardest for our guests, but I have to ask it. Who is your favorite artist or band in the Central Illinois music scene right now?
Do I get
And
to
that's
pick more than one?
sure you can.
Okay, perfect. No, I've thought about this question because I always like to recommend my favorite local artists. Okay, speaking of James, he is in a band that is called Mermaid Heaven. And I actually didn't know that he was in this band when I first started working with him. I like found out after we had 2 recording sessions or so. And I was like, dude, you're literally my favorite band, like in the whole scene. They are so absolutely freaking talented, so good, highly recommend. They're on all streaming platforms to my knowledge, but yeah, that's definitely my top one. Mousepad, the band, so cool, such a great guy. Yeah, just like insanely talented. And then my last one, I would have to say Emily the band, because they're just so fun all the time. The cutest shows ever, all the time. Yeah.
They are a great group of people, let me say. Having them on here, it was a lot of fun. All the Pretzel Records artists have been a great interview for me. That I've just always have a good time. And then
Yeah.
even Julie, I talked to Julie recently, and she was like, "Dude, you make my job so easy because you bring on all the artists that I work with, and then I have content, so I can just
Yeah.
post it."
Yep, it's a win-win.
So here you go, Julie. Here's another easy week for you coming up. Wow, we flew through everything.
Yeah.
List is straight and to the point. We have Boyish coming soon, and that's that on that.
Yeah. A woman of very few words, but yes.
Liz, I appreciate you being straight and to the point, but I just want to thank you for coming on and talking with me a little bit about what's going on in your world and all these amazing things happening for you. And I'm very happy for you, first and foremost. Like, couldn't have happened to a better artist, but really, really excited to see how you grow over the next year and hear Boyish and see where else this takes you.
Thank you. That means so much. That's so nice.
Make sure that you all stay up to date with what Lys has going on. All these big things coming. I keep saying that because it's the typical artist.
Yeah.
Big things coming
There's
with
things
the praying
coming.
hands. Praying hands.
Always.
You can follow Lys on Instagram at Lys Allen. This is Lys Allen, Allen. It's so easy. It's very simple for you to find. You can find her other social media at the link in her Instagram bio as well. So more incentive for you to go over there, give her a follow. More importantly, be sure to go listen to the music she has out now before her new project drops later this year. You can check out Sharks in the Swimming Pool now on all streaming platforms. I highly recommend listening to at least 305. It's a certified banger. I said it at the start. I'll say it again. Certified banger. You will love it. It is fantastic. Listen to it with your windows down if it's warm enough where you are. It changes the whole vibe. You can also see Lys live. So go to one of her shows. You can see him on Instagram, but the next one is going to be March 13th at 7 p.m., where she's opening up for Otnes, who's another fantastic artist that's from Illinois. So be sure to go to the Gallery Art Bar in Urbana at 7 p.m. on March 13th and support these wonderful artists. The last thing I want to say is shout out to our friends over at Pretzel Records. You can go check out all the stuff they have to offer over there. They have records for other bands that we've interviewed, like Sweet Milk, Emily the Band, and now Lys Allen is a wonderful addition to this roster. You can find merch on their website. in the future. So the link to their website will be in our show notes. So just go on and check it out. But just like that, that's our show, and our quickest show at that. Again, I keep saying this. I'm just so shocked. We got all this good information in such a short amount of time.
Maybe I gotta work on my talking skills.
No, it's perfectly fine. And it's range. The podcast has range now.
What I don't say with words, I try to make up for it with songs. So
yeah, and another reason, go listen to her songs. She's got a lot to say. But again, that's our show. You've been hanging out with Clubhouse Chronicles, where the sounds are hot, the stories are hotter, and the vibes absolutely off the charts. Don't forget, hit up at Broken Record Music Club on socials for all the updates, news, and more on this podcast, on our record label, on our wonderful artists. If you're listening to this right now, Jenny Scarra's new single is out. It's called Operator. It's fantastic. Hopefully there's a music video out too on YouTube. You can see all this stuff and get linked and directed to all these awesome things on our Instagram. So go ahead and check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, huge shout out to you guys. Please make sure to subscribe though before you leave. It really helps us out. So if you could hit that little red button right there real quick, really appreciate it. We'll have some like other cool video content coming out throughout the year. We have a tour at the end of the month that we're really looking forward to with Jenny. So hopefully we'll get a little video recording from that. And there's a bunch of other things on the horizon that the big things coming. I'm constantly plotting and scheming. So they will be up there on the YouTube as well. Until next time, keep it loud, keep it proud, and remember, Central Illinois is where the music magic happens. Peace.